housing testimonials and creating not necessarily like a business page, but an information hub page, meaning like, I'll just use random names, but you could use your creativity later to modify it. If you want to focus within that same area and you're only licensed in California, maybe make a page and say the smart homeowner or something to that effect. In essence, creating a page that collects posts, because you already have the setup, like that whole plug behind you, like that's genius. Because it's constantly in their face, right?
Right.
But what you're doing is you're doing it strategically. You're not saying like, hey, let me get you pre-approved. You only need 3%. Right. Leave the guidelines out. Right. But instead, talk about something that they can actually relate with, right? So almost like Coffee Tuesdays, for example, right? And what you're doing is you're going through the stories of the home buying experience, right? But you're creating snippets that houses them. I would say probably expect first couple months, you're not really going to get any traction, but all you're doing is actually building up social proof. So what happens is as you build your network and your contact list, you're actually adding them to that group. You're actually giving calls to action, right? So at the end of the video or at the end of your story, you'd be like, hey, do you know anyone who's in this position and frustrated? Share this with them. Let them know that they're not alone, right? And what will happen is they could tag them into there and then ask them to follow, right? Or ask them to share. It doesn't necessarily need to be IG. You could use IG. It really comes down to your demographic. So if you're noticing that you're working with a lot of first-time home buyers, then maybe the demographics like 20 to 30, IG might be the best way, right? Then you just do a story in Reels. But the reason why Facebook is important is because it's going to open up the gate to others who are already homeowners. So now it opens up the demographic to 30, 40 plus years old. You know what I mean? And that's really where you want to go. And since Facebook and Instagram are kind of one, you can actually make it and then post it on both, right? Now, very few of those that I've mentored have actually done it, but when they do it, it's crazy, dude. Because what happens is it's not a business or personal page, it's just content. You know what I mean? And it's stuff that people can relate to. And it doesn't really cost too much to edit it, but you know, it's very easy to get a team together and virtual assistants that will edit it out, you know? But ultimately down the road, when you start closing clients, like for example, like, you know, you just closed a deal on a loan, as long as they're friends with you on Facebook, you could tag them, right? So you'd be like, hey, congratulations, Alfonso, for the new lot that they just purchased. This is for a first-time home buyer. I know it was frustrating. Congratulations for sticking through it out. Everyone congratulate by hitting like and commenting congratulations below, right? And what will happen is when you tag them, then it goes in front of their network. And then it was going to hit like and comment, right? But what does that do is it gives you a list of people you could DM. So let's say if Susie liked it, right? And you see Susie and she's connected to them and, you know, you send a DM to Susie and be like, hey, I want to thank you so much for liking my post. If there's any questions I can answer, feel free to reach out. I also do refinances. You see what I'm saying? Now you're opening up the thread for communication, but it's just not only clients. It can also be, you know, title reps or escrow agents or even realtors. Now, the beautiful part about it is as you start to collect these posts, you can then share them. You know what I mean? So you send an email to like a realtor that you're trying to farm and you say, hey, you know what? I just had a situation like the one we just talked. Check out this video. Let me know, you know, what your thoughts are. And it's just a video of the realtor explaining like Alfonso is on his game. He always answers his phone. And what you do is you kind of just orchestrate the questions, kind of like what I just did right now. You know what I mean? To kind of elicit kind of response and then edit it and cut it. Because right now, social currency is huge.
Connected to SalesRemastered.